Yeah, and she's not putting like team specific things in there.
Yeah.
I think the only time I actually followed along with bingo was like the last game I watched for this, and then my game on Tunnel Vision from Ben's tournament.
Well, I'm all ready to go.
I am one crust ready.
Go. So I'm pretty sure that Muck Muck Boss with 2 S's is Ben. Everyone. Looks like we don't have anything irregular with anyone going into the ISO lane immediately off the start. Just some PvP right away.
Some pretty slick boostos there to get into that house as fast as they can from Ooga Booga.
Ben immediately getting voided though, so that's good for him.
That was intentional too.
Was it? Okay.
Oh
yeah, so go to the ISO lane. Yep. We have Ben in the ISO lane now. We have Swirlin from the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol going down for those TNT resources. He'll probably set up a cannon, just get rid of the TNT supplies from the side of Poon Army. Where
Swirlin is Nong, correct?
I believe Swirlin is Nong. Oh, that's Muck, yeah. And Strangey's actually probably gonna get taken out by this cannon. Yep.
Oh, he survives?
I think that counts as a cannon kill. I'm gonna count that as a cannon kill.
100% agree. Oh, he's gonna double tap it too, just to see if he can get the...
Yeah, get the entities. Really make sure that there's nothing left. There. That should have gotten
there
him.
There it goes. I got everything but the axe, shovel, and some wood, so everything important.
We have Swirlin starting the Swirlin tunnel. Doctor looking on, seeing that he is starting that and saying, well, I wish there was something I could do about that, but there isn't. Ben
is running ISO resources, although there is a Flamebow skeleton that's going to make his day pretty rough.
He's able to Flamebow him back with arrows through the lava, so I think that was probably useful for him. Ben using the same pass around he used last time. We haven't seen anyone else sort of use that strat where they grab the chest and use it to extend chest hit box.
Kind of surprising we don't see that more because it's a free stone pick.
Yeah, it's a solid strategy. Docta PvPing up above. I think that was the brewing supplies, yeah.
That was Ghibli hitting the brewing supplies, yeah.
That's the brewing stand as well gone, I believe. Yeah, she got the brewing stand and all the brewing supplies. That's really solid. That was a dry cannon from up above. Firing again to make sure that there are no entities left. This is probably one of the strats that Poon Army was hiding early on to really make sure that this didn't get exposed. Solid cannons.
Yeah, and that's something you normally see from Ghibli too, which makes it even more surprising.
Practice cannons are something that anyone can really do, but having those cannons are pretty important.
Exactly. Matt
Susan's doing quite a bit of PvPing up above into the resource area, while Strangey has been collecting those resources across from Muck, who's been able to go a little bit faster, just through a little bit of advantage getting in there quicker. Strangey is going down towards the diamonds. He doesn't have too many diamonds left down here. There are 6 left if he picks up the 1 diamond entity that's on the ground here. Let's see. Swirlin is continuing to tunnel. He's dug a tunnel through the entire first section here under the tree.
That might actually be really valuable for them too, since they just destroyed a large chunk of Poon Army's TNT.
Yeah.
So there's no way to really expose that.
Yeah, Poon Army is making good use of the TNT they had so far. Ghibli is mining iron herself, smelting that into ore so she'll have armor. Let's double check.
It's a little bit different from what we saw from them before, where Ghibli went right down to the 3rd resources.
We did have the 8 TNT from the Spires be grabbed by the side of Poon Army. I imagine that's the TNT that Ghibli used to make Ben's life a little bit more painful. That does mean that he won't have a diamond chest plate, actually, sorry, scratch that. He won't, they cannon the brewing supplies. He will have all of his diamond gear, but he won't have strength pots. Which I assume Ben knows how to overcome, but it will slow him down. Strangey is having a tough time in these resources. Looks like he wasn't able to grab any of the diamonds because he was fighting mobs the entire time.
And he's taking so much fall damage just to get down there.
Yeah, he's really taking a bit of damage. Matsuzen collecting wood right now, potentially preempting the house cannon and the tree cannon from the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol, possibly just attempting to collect more blocks.
I admire your dedication to the full team name there.
Hey, you gotta say the whole team name. We say in area names as much as we can. We might as well say some team names. Swirlin has about 1,000 snowballs in his inventory and is right above Blue Goose Hollow. Hasn't entered it yet, but someone from the side of Poon Army... no, I'm sorry. Those are cobblestone blocks that are there by design from Matsuzen. Not.
And here goes Ghibli right up the waterfall. I don't know if it has a name. Dracula's Tooth.
Dracula's Tooth, yes. And she'll be going to Icy Ape's Retreat. Up on top there. Let's see where Ben is at. Ben is passing some stuff around, or receiving some pass around. Yeah, he was receiving some stuff that was passed around to him. Of course, not having those brewing supplies, just going to slow him down. Probably won't make too much of a problem for him, but we'll see when he starts running the first wool that he's going to run. I imagine it'll be 3rd ISO with the lava beds and then the red halls, but we'll have to see on that for sure.
That does look like the way he's going right now.
I imagine Matsuzen is collecting some blocks here to go ahead and make his way into the Blue Goose Hollow down here, but he's not quite starting that yet. Instead, shooting at Swirlin, who is now digging down into the Blue Goose Hollow to go collect those resources for himself. Ghibli and a gold chest plate up above the diamonds at 3rd. We'll see when she goes to grab those. We do have Swirlin. Yeah, Swirlin, not Muck. Muck is going down for the resources in Blue Goose Hollow. Swirlin is looking to PvP at Ghibli. He's set up some poke holes. He'll have a bit of an angle on the last room of 3rd ISO, as well as an angle on Ghibli when she does eventually go down into those diamonds. He's got his bow trained right on the hole, so he'll probably pop a shot as soon as she falls down here.
Will he hit it? That's the real question.
Yeah, I want to stay here. Oh, and he misses. And he hits the
He
next
gets
one.
that one, though.
And Ghibli fell from a high
one.
place. That's really good. It's going to slow down her tempo a lot here, having to make her way all the way back down the map. Should buy the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol another minute or so.
I would guess even more than that, just because the map is a little difficult to navigate in general.
It can be. It's a lot more difficult with PvP pressure, but the thing about that is Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol has 1 person surface PvPing right now.
I'm going for a dry cannon right now.
Looks like that's going to go for the brewing supplies down below. It does.
And it does.
Takes out those TNT supplies, lands the brewing stand as an entity, though, so we'll see if Upland fires that again or not. I imagine he will, just to be safe.
All that TNT is still alive there, too. It's just in chunks in 2 different spots.
And he's going to fire again. That should get rid of most of the entities. And doesn't get the brewing stand. That lava will get that TNT, though, I believe. Yeah, that should flow off the block and get it. Yep. So if he doesn't fire again, the brewing stand will still be there. Docta is in these resources very slow from the side of Poon Army to get into these ISO resources. I don't know when Docta went in to those, but it's almost nighttime. So it's very interesting that he is deciding to do those now. It's important to know that this cannon from Upland is actually not dry. He's just placing the water after the TNT is primed. Now shooting downward at Docta Shock.
Yeah, this seems like it's much later than than Dr. Shock normally runs that wall.
Yeah.
Or resources.
Swirlin is back PvPing Ghibli again. Ghibli did decide to collect some leather armor, some blocks, so she'll have a safer way down to re-gear her, or re-grab her stuff to re-gear. It's kind of interesting that Swirlin's opting not to grab these diamonds himself. I assume that that's probably because he doesn't want to be caught in a position where Ghibli can PvP at him. Matsuzen clearing out the honeypot, same way that we saw Ook doing it earlier, up above 3rd wool. Of course, that will spawn a few extra mobs inside the wool, but with how late Poon Army actually is going to be to start that wool, it shouldn't be too much more of an issue than they were already expecting. And that's the rest of the brewing supplies gone. I don't think Docta was able to pick up. Yep, Docta was not able to pick up the brewing stand before those went, so he'll have to do without potions as well. So both teams are playing a potionless third ISO here.
And Ben is looking to start third ISO right now. He's in that short PvP part right before it.
Making his way up, using some ladders.
Ooh,
Kind of dangerous. Can get shot through the lava here, get set on fire. He's getting shot by two angles, two different people. I think that was Dr. Shock taking a shot from the other side, and then of course it's Matt Susan in that honey pot. He's making his way back out now. So that means Ben, nope, he's actually just sitting down PvPing, getting PvP'd. I believe that's probably Muck PvPing him on the surface. Ben doing the intelligent thing and deciding not to mine obsidian.
I'm waiting for him to mess it up and accidentally.
That would be
water bucket.
Be humorous, but it looks like there's no chance of that happening anymore. So
nope, he has saved it.
He won't have to mine any obsidian. Good for Ben. Bad for Bingo. Looks like Swirlin is now in that secondary resource area, deciding to collect, or the tertiary resource area, deciding to collect those diamonds himself. Either that or he just fell down. Nope. Collecting those diamonds for himself. He's a few diamond ore behind Ghibli, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Zaka is saying in chat to look at this. This is to prevent the lava block inside of the wool from being detonated from the outside. Of course, being concerned that now that we've seen that used in one match, teams won't be afraid to pull it out here. Looks like
I'm looking like he's going to go for a dry can right now.
It looks like he's aiming at Matt Susan, who is in the Blue Goose Hollow. It's going to be kind of difficult to get that diamond block from the surface. He just completely whiffs.
Not dry though.
Yeah,
the same thing where he sneaks that water in there.
Yeah, little long on the timing there, but he'll be able to get that with a few repeated shots, and he does have 29 TNT remaining on him. Swirlin is making some good progress. It looks like Ghibli is also making some good progress. She's actually behind Swirlin now because Swirlin was able to maintain the high ground and go over the top. So that means that Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol will have a full set of diamond out significantly faster than Poon Army, actually. Considering the fact that Swirlin was second down here. Upland firing that cannon again, getting that diamond ore. So there's no longer any diamond ore for the side of Poon Army in Blue Goose Hollow. I imagine he'll take out the diamond block on the next shot and then move over to cannon the supplies that he just took out. The bottom of that, but he's
killing Matt too, so that's a lot of pressure relieved from Ben running third ISO right now.
Opting to fall back a bit. Dr. Shock has grabbed the partial iron and diamond mix and is instead PvPing inside of second because we do have Muck running that in full diamond right now. Just sort of blitzing his way through in that full diamond. He's running the main portion of the wool.
I remember seeing someone say Muck likes to run this regardless without the other teammate or not.
Yeah.
Just because then it's all ready for him when later he goes in.
I think Zaka said that last weekend as well. They're trying to cannon Docta out from his spot here. Uplum is firing some more of those, just watering at the last second. He's missed high and low on that cannon, so the next shot should have the timing. Muck is into the woolbox area. I'm not sure what that water is for. It won't really do a whole lot, but he is here. We'll see what if anything changes there.
I think he's just making an infinite source there.
Oh, that's certainly just a possibility, yeah. Ben is going incredibly slowly through third without those strength potions, but he's just bridging and tunneling. He's about halfway done with the PvE section, and doesn't look like the side of Poon Army has anyone who can really PvP at him. Ghibli is, of course, still behind Swirlin on tempo, having to continue to collect a diamond ore, whereas he is crafting and storing some stuff up top, and is now going to be able to poke back over at Ghibli. She's safe, though, so no threat of her getting knocked out there.
Yeah, Muck literally just water-walled himself in entirely and made an infinite source. Now he crafted a armor stand, that's the word I was looking for, on a pressure plate. This might actually be...
This is a strat.
Shenanigans.
Twitch chat is yelling at me that I'm biased because I won't watch this, so we're going to sit here for the next 5 minutes. While Muck tries to figure out what he's doing. He has water-walled the entire front of this. This is very interesting cheese to me. Oh, he's activating the... Yeah, I know what this is. This is actually going to be something that automatically presses... Yep. This is going to automatically press this pressure plate, which is going to spawn the wool up above indefinitely. So he no longer needs to run this wool. This is run. It's a good strat. Somewhat cheesy, but, I mean, there's no cheese if it works, right? Then, almost cresting the last room of third ISO. We'll see if Swirlin takes a detour from shooting at Ghibli to go run the main portion of that.
Ben's making some good progress here, just about done.
Yeah, he's almost done with that wool. Let's see where Matt Susan went. Muck is now making his way out. Matt Susan, oh yeah, Matt Susan has a poke hole shooting at Muck. If Muck dies here, that will lose a set of diamond armor, but he can basically call his job done after this. I believe that's Strangey voiding to go into the ISO lane, if I had to guess. I don't know where he passed his stuff around, but yeah, he has dropped down into the ISO lane.
I wouldn't be surprised too if Muck's supposed to run the other half of this wall.
Yeah, it would make sense, but having the full set of diamond would be very nice. He's not going to die anytime soon, most likely without any cannon pressure. And Poon doesn't have anyone on the surface to actually build those cannons, so it'll be somewhat difficult to set up some cannons to get Muck out of here. We need some diagonals for Matt Susan.
Pretty heavily.
He is, but with enough doors he can sit there. Matt Susan is now taking the time to go back up. He only has 1 TNT, so he couldn't be able to cannon. Uplam sitting across with 8 TNT. Ghibli should have some TNT from the area under Icy Ape's retreat. She has the 16 TNT there, getting PvP'd by the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol as she runs back. That's Swirlin PvPing her. Swirlin also taking an angle to look down at where Matt Susan was previously sitting. And Muck is making his way back out of this wool. We'll see if things change rapidly here, but Strangey is making his way downward into another resource area, the trees inside of the ISO lane, probably to collect some wood here so that he can start a run on a second ISO or third ISO.
Ben looks like he's up to some shenanigans in that ISO wool box.
Let's go take a look at some shenanigans. I love shenanigans. I find it somewhat difficult to believe that there could be more shenanigans than what Manifest Destiny showed us today, with the water to flow off the back to actually be able to place a hopper. I feel like that's the most shenanigans you can have with this, and I think that's probably what he's doing as well. Matt Susan did collect the rest of his stuff from the bottom of Blue Goose Hollow, but didn't actually collect the diamond block, which is interesting. Maybe he didn't have an iron pick on him at the time. Muck is almost out of the main lane portion of a not-so-isolated ballad, just sitting behind a door shifting. Getting cannoned, that's a solid cannon. Dry cannon from above, from Matt Susan, using basically half of the TNT that he had. But Muck is able to make his way out. He should actually be able to make his way almost entirely out. There he is. So that diamond armor is fully safe. I wouldn't be surprised if he immediately went to pass that around into the ISO lane to run it himself. That's a big advantage for the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol, as we see. I believe this is Matt Susan. Yep, Matt Susan in his iron armor. Starting on third ISO, he's in the PvP section. Ben looks to be setting up a spot to shoot back at him. They'll probably use this as a lockdown point because Ben's job in this wool is done. He's placed the pickup point, so we'll see.
Matt Susan is starting third ISO?
Yeah, Matt Susan is in the PvP section. Oh, that's Strangey. My bad. Oh my gosh, yeah. I looked at Matt Susan, said that Matt Susan was cannoning, and then said that Matt Susan was in there. Of course.
He's so good. He's in multiple places.
He's too good. He's the best race for wool player ever. I actually think that there are a lot of people in this match already that are in discussion for that. Where is Ben? Ben looks like he retreated back to the beginning to get an even better angle on Strangey here. If I had to guess,
looks like he might be going into the honeypot lockdown, or just above it, maybe.
Who is that? Oh, yep. Yeah, Uplam. Yeah. His honeypot, on the other hand, is filled to the brim with mobs.
It's dangerous.
This is going to be a bit tricky to get into. Of course, once he clears the mobs out, they'll all be gone, but it's going to take him a few minutes to get through that.
Strangely already down well under half before he even starts the wool because of Ben.
Yeah, he does have about 2 stacks of blocks, so he actually has plenty of blocks with which to get through this wool, but Ben's going to be PvPing at him. A lot of those blocks are wood blocks, so things are going to be a little bit difficult for Strangey here.
Bunnies, Uplum has 24 TNT left.
Of Doctor running the ISO portion of a not-so-isolated ballad. He has basically just started the wool, but he is unopposed from the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol. No one even looking at him to shoot. I imagine that'll change when Muck gets to the ISO lane himself.
I think he's now reaching what is referred to as the shock spot.
Shock spot. And Muck should be there shortly, having just collected his stuff in the pass around. We do have Ghibli looking like she's going to start the main lane portion, so we're going to have a dual run of second from the side of Poon Army. And yep, she's started that, so I think this now qualifies as a dual run for that bingo square. There's your free space, everyone, even though it wasn't free in the last match. Some cannons from the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol. Uplum cannoning down at Strangey. Taking away some of his cover, as well as some of the one of the spawners down here, I believe. Strangey trying to aggro an Enderman so he can potentially get an Ender Pearl. The Enderman walked into lava first, and there's Strangey's Pearl. So that's actually going to make things a little bit easier if he can manage to get past this first room. He'll be able to Pearl to almost the last room, and then should be able to Cry Box, or just pillar straight into the wool box if he has a chance. He will need to
have to really get past that first room. If you just get to this platform, you can Pearl straight to the top.
Yeah, that's what I meant by the first room.
That's pretty big if he uses it right.
Yeah, he will need someone from his team to cover him while he does so. But luckily for him, the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol is a little bit preoccupied with covering Muck while he runs the ISO portion of second, and Docta finishes the ISO portion of second for Poon Army. He's at the pickup point. We'll see if he just does a pass around collection point, or if he's actually just going to sit here and wait for Ghibli to finish the wool as well. Having a good angle on Muck from here. I don't believe either team has even started first wool. Yeah.
They have. It looks like Poon lava that part.
Did lava it to make their life a little bit easier getting in, but neither team has made significant progress on it. Probably not too concerned about that in comparison to the other wools. Looks like they've pulled Ben out of the third lockdown to come help lock down second, and he's out of the world. Not blocking himself up anywhere, just falling out of the world with that partial iron, partial diamond. So this is actually going to alleviate some of the pressure on Strangey, with only Uplum here to shoot at him. Of course, that's not going to make it easy, having no cover to hide behind in this first room, but...
And Uplum definitely has the ability to apply
an
absurd amount of pressure.
Yeah, especially with... I mean, he only has 21 TNT left, but that's more than enough to keep Strangey here for the next few minutes. Docta PvPing from the wool box up towards Muck, who is just chilling in a safe spot, while Ghibli is almost complete with the main lane portion. There are a bunch of cannons, and I have no idea where they are. I assume it's just Uplum. Yeah. Taking out more of Strangey's cover that he's building for himself. Of course, Strangey does have those obsidian blocks, so it's pretty easy for him to build more cover. Just slowing down the side of Poon Army drastically is Uplum here.
64 lime wool expired. Did you see that?
I did not, but that is a bingo spot.
There are so many wolves sitting on there.
There's an infinite number of them, in fact. That's incredible. That's going to be a full inventory of it. Uplum is getting some solid cannons on Strangey, just repeatedly firing at him. We do have a cannon from Matt Susan coming in to take out Muck's cover here. Let's see if he hits it. Ooh, it gets caught on the bedrock above. That's actually going to be a big issue for him. Now getting PvP'd by Swirlin on the other side.
Matt does have 24 TNT left, too, so he's got a little bit to play with.
Firing again, but Muck has made his move out of that spot. Wouldn't have hit anyways, but Muck is into more safety. Air quotes safety, apparently, because Docta's angles are too good. locking himself back in. Of course, Poon is essentially done. Actually, I shouldn't say essentially done. Is done with a Not So Isolated Ballad themselves. But it's going to be a little bit of time before Strangey is able to get third here himself. And we can, for all intents and purposes, say that the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol have it secured. Strangey making his way into a cry box at the end of the first room here. So if he can manage,
dangerous spot too.
It is. Luckily for him, though, Uplum doesn't have a cannon aimed at it yet. Uplum looks like he's going to be building a cannon that is aimed directly at it right now, but he doesn't have one set up yet. So Strangey can make a move soon. Yeah, he's moving back across. It looks like he actually might have just wanted to stop any more skeletons from spawning with that singular torch. It's going to do a good job.
Yeah, that pretty much standing back there, nothing else spawns, which is going to be really nice for him.
Yep. Docta still PvPing at Muck. Muck is making some screaming progress through this wall. Just has 2 more downward verticals and 1 upward vertical left, and then he can collect that wool. Will, of course, have to get to a point where he can pass it around, but once he gets that wool, it'll be fairly difficult for Poon Army to do something if they can't get Strangey through third here pretty quickly. They are using their 2 members to place a lot of pressure. Actually, Ghibli is making her way back out, presumably to go help Strangey over at third. All the while, Muck is making some good progress. Although Strangey's now taken the ability to shoot at him, but Muck is into the wool box. Let's see if he places some blocks down. Yep. Is able to make himself safe. Now he has an endless supply of blocks. He only had space for 64 in his inventory. Did decide to water.
He's got a little over 100 wool.
Yeah. Thanks. Uplum is making Strangey's life a living hell with these cannons.
He's almost out of TNT too, though.
He is.
Last time I looked, he's down to 9.
He's down to 9. That's 3 more of these cannons, or 4 more of these cannons that he's been firing, because he's only been firing 1 shot and 1 charge. But we'll see how Muck's gonna make his way out of this, because of course it's not all said and done once you collect this wool. He does have to make his way back out. Whereas Ghibli has the wool secured for herself. Should have the wool secured for Poon Army. It's not in her inventory, so I'm not sure. Oh, of course, Docta is the collection point. My bad. So Docta has that wool. None of it got passed to Ghibli, which is kind of interesting to me, but I guess Docta does have the pass-around point directly above him if he needs it. Heard something break. I assume that was a bow. Yeah. Muck's armor is fine. Docta's armor is fine. Docta's now making his way out to get an even better angle. Strangey is not making any progress through this wool because of Uplum's lockdown. Looks like Ben bought just enough time being in the wool for Uplum to get set up and stationary and everything. Cannon's over. Oh, that's a good cannon to try and hit Ghibli from the side of Swirlin'. Taking out some doors at the entrance. I'm not positive what Ghibli is doing sitting here still. She could potentially get a better angle by going lower down. Looks like she's partially rerunning the wool, which is kind of curious to me. Muck is making another move. Getting shot by Docta and Ghibli. Getting under some good pressure here, but only down to 3.5 hearts. He'll be able to regen and make his way back up. Strangey is now going over the top portion of third wool, so he's made it into the spot that he wanted to be in. Uplum is firing even more cannons, but Strangey is basically safe at this point until he falls down again. With that
was close to blowing up Strangey's the blocks that he was standing on there.
Yeah,
the first part of his bridge.
It's a good thing that he was using cobblestone on the block that he was standing on, but once Strangey gets to this platform, he will have a chance to Ender Pearl up, and then it'll be kind of a race after that to see if
he goes for that Ender Pearl too.
Yeah, I imagine he will. I lost where Muck was. It looks like Muck has been trying to place a pass around here, but is very low on HP. And there is a cannon, dry cannon, that was aimed right at it from the side of Poon Army. Should he
Ben right there to
should he be able to get that down, Ben can go ahead and grab it. And I imagine Ben's actually going to be wanting to place a pass around chest. Uplum cannoning again for Docta. Not going to quite hit there. Let's see. Muck does not have a chest. Ben does not have a chest. I think that Ben probably should want to back off here and craft an inventory for Muck to be able to place it in, because I think, even though that's a little bit less safe for Muck to place, Muck has full diamonds, so it'll be somewhat difficult for him to die while he's placing that pass around. Kish telling me that I'm blind and Muck did have a chest. Strangey just making really slow progress. He did get the skeleton spawner, but now he's getting Blaze PvP'd, which is always fun.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on Strangey because I really want to see if he risks his Thunder Pearl.
I do too. Pass around has been placed by Muck, so if Ben can get that, yep, and that is one lime wool secured for the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol. Ben's going back for the second. There's the second. So that is second wool secured for Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol. They essentially have third wool secured. They just need to craft a single hopper and then run the main lane portion of that. So we'll see when they decide to jump into first wool. I imagine that Docta is probably going to want to make his way out of second wool now, though, to actually go ahead and be able to make his way towards first to PvP, presumably Muck, while he runs that.
They're both right now, excuse me, having a showdown in the shock spot, so.
I feel like Dr. Shock should control that, just given the fact that it's named after him.
He abandoned it first.
Uh-oh.
He's just looking to get out.
Yeah, Uplum is also making his way out from where he was PvPing. It looks like Strangey might actually be able to make his way across. Either that or Uplum is going to a higher vantage point to shoot down from. Who is this from the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol? We have Ben. Looks like Ben is going to be collecting some blocks to go bridge over the portion of third main down at the Frozen Fingers to actually be able to collect that wool, craft that hopper, just get in there.
To answer Bunny's question, he's got about a stack of blocks.
Yeah, he's surprisingly low on blocks, and looks like he had to fall down to heal or to retreat and heal.
Yeah, I think he got knocked down. I showed up and he was kind of into that panic scramble.
It's always a fun scramble. Looks like he's gonna make his way up one more level and then throw that pearl if he's gonna throw that pearl. I imagine that since he has that pearl, he does want to use it, but it'd be very surprising if that wasn't the case. And it looks like Muck has been able to make his way out of second. So he is out safe with that.
No, they are running first.
Yep.
Right now. Yeah.
That is Muck with, I mean, he only has 31 lime wool left, which is significantly less than infinite, which is what he had previously. He's now facing off against a skeleton, while, yep, this is Dr. Shock having made his way out of a not-so-isolated ballad. Looks like he'll be PvPing down at Muck from up above, having to deal with Swirlin.
Yeah, that's Swirlin.
And Ghibli's also going to be PvPing down. We'll see if she digs another Ox Spotter too, because the one that she has right now, her feet stick out and Swirling can actually nip those. Let's see what Strangey is up to. He's
spawning a lot.
Did Strangey die? Or did I miss him? I missed him. He's up even higher than I thought he was.
Oh, he's right where he was.
He's right where he was last time, but it's higher than I thought he was, so what do I know? Breaking that Blaze Spawner. Has one more Blaze Spawner left. I think if he's going to Pearl, he's probably going to want to do it.
He's got the angle, right?
Barely.
Like one block to the side.
Yeah, it's an angle. It's not the best angle, but he should want to do that fairly soon. Otherwise, there was not really any point to collecting the Pearl, unless he's going to use it on the way out. Ock pointing out that there are a lot of mobs, so Pearl is going to be significantly more difficult. Muck
I don't really see an issue with mobs. It's just a matter of, like...
Well, Ender Pearls hit mobs and
yeah, but
breaks.
The path is, like, clean.
Muck is too good at pressing right-click, managing to get 7 blocks and a door down. He only has 102 durability, or 101 durability left on his helmet, so he will get that taken out. If he takes too many more shots, which Ghibli and Docta presumably, yep, Ghibli and Docta look to be wanting to do to him. That seems to be their job. So that's Ben having collected from the hopper pass around behind a third. It's interesting he got rid of... Huh. He did get rid of the ability to continue that pass around. He'd have to place those blocks again. I'm not sure what he did.
I think he did the, like, what Ock did on accident. I think that's what Ben did.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's...
I think he spammed those blocks to, like,
yeah,
get it to pop out.
Yeah. Looks like Strange isn't going to be pearling. It wouldn't make much sense to pearl just this final room when he's already so close, but it looks like he may not be pearling, so I'm not sure what that pearl is going to be used for. They could use it for first ISO to make it past that final room, since no one has started that yet.
Speaking of that, Muck is at the wool box now.
Making his way in. He's still able to get shot at. He will find the block at his feet, maybe? Potentially? There we go. Found the block at his feet. He just has to, he just has to let Uplum get in to press the button. I don't think Uplum has any doors, so Uplum will have to use solid blocks. Oh, Uplum does have doors. He has 3 doors, which is exactly as many as he needs. He doesn't get taken out through the corner here. He's fine. Under pressure by 3 members of Poon Army. Strangey is under pressure by Ben, who's sitting right next to the end of third main.
64 more wool expiring. Oh, Uplum died.
Did he? Oh, he's taken out through the corner of that block, I guess. That's probably not gonna... oh, it was a cannon from up above. Matt Susan set up a cannon, took out his cover, blew him up right next to the button press. Or Docta shot him right next to the button press, I should say. They'll probably keep a lockdown on this, although I find it hard to believe that at this point Swirlin wouldn't just jump in there and go himself. Press that button while Muck is sitting behind a water wall, waiting for a wool to spawn.
And in that full diamond, it just makes sense.
Uplum's just doing it. I don't know why Swirlin doesn't just do it at this point. He's in full diamond. If he has 6 doors on him, at this point I'd just send Swirlin. It looks like he might be talking about that. He looked like he might have been going to go down to it.
Strangey made a little bit more progress. Just about there now.
He's basically bridged to the wool box at this point. Just has a little bit more to make. He still could ender pearl it. I'm not positive it's the best decision right now, but he could do it.
Yeah, I think at this point you save that for that first vertical, in my opinion.
I agree.
They have to make a lot of progress very quickly if they want to come back from this.
But Swirlin finally was able to go, and so he pressed that button, and Muck has 2 copies of red wool that he is now passing around. He has 4 copies total, so that's red wool safe, provided he can manage to make his way out. Looks like he's actually crafting a chest to drop his stuff off in. He doesn't have to run that back out. And provided there's no big shenanigans, that should be the game wrapped up for Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol. Doesn't look like either team has set up anything preemptively for a VM lockdown yet. We'll see if Poon Army moves that direction.
They have not. Poon has not run third main.
Yeah, they still have not run third main. Third main doesn't take all that long to run. Of course, it being run makes collecting the wool a lot easier, but Strangey is almost at the collection point. Oh.
He's just been having
Somebody just got... Matt Susan just got voided off the front side of the lane while making his way to the victory monument.
Unlucky.
Ghibli is making her way in full diamond, while Swirlin is on the opposite side looking to make his way in full diamond. Ghibli's the first one up to the victory monument. We'll see if she's going to lock down I imagine she'll lock down VM in this full diamond, as opposed to worrying about running third main right now. She can get Swirlin out of the world, that'll be big, but Swirlin is the master of tunnels and walls, placing an entire wall behind him. Strangey is in the wool box, has placed that pass around. So if he can get out and get back to safety, he can run that wolf himself, or he can run the main portion of that himself. Will be fairly tough for Poon Army to come back from this, as it looks like.
And here comes Uplum with just 2 of the 3 wolves.
Uplum is going to place 2 out of 3. Full diamond. Everyone on the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol has had a full set of diamond at some point, I guess. Ghibli getting knocked off the waterfall, and that's going to be game for the side of Ooga Booga Pajama Patrol.
That was an unexpected for me outcome. I was definitely expecting Poon to take this.
I think that both of those teams are really good teams.
Yeah, it was a really well played game all around.
I think that really there were a lot of people in this match that are considered or have been considered at one point